Over the last 8 seasons, the only team besides the Bulls to claim the NBA title, everybody knows this, the Houston Rockets. They won it in back-to-back years in the middle of the decade and may now be poised to make another run at it. When Scottie Pippen signed on for $67 million over 5 years, a Hall of Fame front line took shape. Pippen, Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon. Our resident Hall of Famer Cheryl Miller hooked up with the trio in Houston.
It's fun playing with great players, and it makes the game so much more easier. You know, I would always say the game is all hard if you can't play. And, you know, that's just a true statement. The game is hard if you can't play.
Right.
If you can play, the game is easy.
Now, 2 points up or 2 points down. Game on the line. Who's the #1 option in this offense?
You're the
#1 option.
I always, you know, he's our man. I always make the balls, though, when the game on the line. He just, but all those like that, though. I think it gives us an advantage that we can call 3 different plays.
Right.
You know, I think obviously we're going to go to a king if the game is on the line, but if either one of us have a mismatch, that gives us an added advantage.
I think also the most important thing, I'm comfortable if he has the ball or Scottie has the ball.
Please welcome number 33, Scottie Pippen!
So you're telling me that Charles actually made your transition easy?
I feel like it. I mean, I think having Charles really campaigned to get me here really, you know, showed me that he wants to win a championship. And I'm always one of those players that when June comes, I want to be
That's
playing.
Beautiful.
And, you know, Charles is deserving of a championship. I mean, he's had a great career. He's one of the top players in a lot of categories in the game. And he deserves a championship. And I would love the opportunity to say, I helped him win it.
See how wonderful he is. He's going to help you win a title.
I gave him $60 million. That's the least he could do is win me the championship.
So let me ask you, is there any pressure on you to do that? I mean, you've won 6 championships. Is it important for you to win another title without Michael?
It's important from a personal standpoint. But, you know, I think this organization has invested a lot in me to come here and put this team back on a championship level. And I want to feel like that, hey, it's my obligation to get it there, you know. And I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure that this team gets to a championship level soon.
He's got a trailer and Pippen. Oh, Scottie Pippen, welcome to Houston.
Hakeem last season, physically, was tough on you. What did you do in the off season?
A lot of running, strengthening my quads, and just training like a track athlete instead of just basketball, playing basketball in the summertime. So that was a very a different training for me. Gave me an opportunity to be much more flexible, to make basketball fun again.
And it wasn't fun last season for you?
No. I mean, when you're playing with pain, it's different.
Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Rodman are all averaging 41 minutes a game. Pippen with the long reach gets it away from Jackson and scores.
You know, I think, you know, the Bulls obviously won a championship, but people forget. You know, it kind of took them 7 games. And I can't even remember the last time the Bulls went 7 games in a series. I don't think they've ever went 7 games in any of their championship years, you know.
I can't remember, Charles. I've been in so many.
Well, let me ask you, when you talk about championships and everything, does he give you a hard time about the 2 championships you won at all? About
No.
maybe, you know, wasn't with, you know, Mike wasn't there, so. But a championship
No,
is...
I never tease him, you know. Obviously, Charles took a lot of abuse going through the Olympics when he didn't have a ring, man. And I'm sure
I get abused a lot.
You get abused a lot, Charles.
When they start talking about championship, I just kind of like, just drop my head.
You need to stop with that. You need to. How's your political career coming along? Are you going to go into politics
Well,
or
I'm
what?
going to see how the impeachment thing turn out before, because I know I got a lot of skeletons in my closet, so I got to see how the impeachment thing works out. I got to slow my roll. I got to see what happened to Slick Willie.
Hey, if Bill Clinton...
If he can get away with it, well, then I'm running.
So what do you think about Charles running for office? What do you think about Charles?
Go ahead, Dre. I'll let you under that.
Those smiles have been replaced by game faces. You'll see those guys later tonight on TNT as they take on the Lakers in Game 2 of our opening night doubleheader. Now, you talk about the front line and everything's fine there. The question comes with the backcourt with the Houston Rockets. Maloney, Michael Dickerson, who's 23. Maloney is 27. You see the experience on the front line. Let's dissect this a little bit more as we go to Kenny Smith with a little breakdown action going on here about the Houston backcourt. Will they be enough to give that front court the ring?
Just a little breakdown. I think the front court is excellent. It's best in the business. But the back court is probably where everyone's trying to have their questions. They're inexperienced, they have a lack of size, and they have a lack of depth. So the biggest thing is now the guys have to knock down shots. And last year, Matt Maloney, a lot of times, he was the guy that people would double off. You look at John Stockton here, he just said, I'm going to leave Matt Maloney. He's going to have to beat me if you're going to win here in Houston here in the playoffs. And so here he has a wide open Jay. He wasn't able to knock it down here consistently. But there's been times where he has, and the same thing. They just say, hey, Matt Maloney, Dickerson, you guys are going to, Bryce Drew, Brent Price, you guys are going to have to beat me. And if they can knock these shots down, then they have a better chance. But I think they still need to probably add one more piece in the backcourt. I think those guys are good, but they just need a little bit more, another piece in the backcourt.
How about the Charles Barkley angle on this thing, Peter Bessie, sacrificing for the hopes of that ring?
Right. Well, yeah, I still say, though, there's one guard right here. And where's Vernon Maxwell when the Rockets need him, right? Out in Sacramento.
Sacramento.
But, yeah, no, he did sacrifice a lot of money, as he pointed out, about $60 million to get Scottie Pippen with the team. You know, he did that once before with the Suns. He deferred some of his money to get Danny Ainge onto the Suns. And so he is an unselfish player. Of course, there is a wink deal that after this year, they're going to give him $14 million. And, you know, the truth of the matter is all he has to do is show up next year. He doesn't even have to play to collect that $14 million. So he'll get it back.
Jason, I want to ask you to go to the Western Conference for a minute. Houston gets some sentimental votes here with the front line there. Who's the best team in the Western Conference right now in your mind?
Well, first of all, I hope Charles Barkley does win a championship because I'm tired of him crying in his beer every time we go out. But I like the San Antonio Spurs.
Really?
You know, Sam Cassell talks about Tim Duncan every morning. You know, I don't know if he does that to keep Keith Van Horn get going and whatever, but he talks about Tim Duncan, how he destroyed Chris Gallen the whole summer out in Houston and where they were playing. So I like the San Antonio Spurs. They had Kerr and a couple other players out there. So
Wait.
I talked to Sam Cassell right before we came to the show. He told me that the New Jersey Nets had the best chance of going to the finals. They're the sleeper, and all he have to do is give him the basketball down the stretch, get him to the stretch, because he knows how to win. That's from Sam's mouth.
But EJ asked me about the Western Conference.
Okay, I'm just
we know what we're going to do in the Eastern Conference.
Thank you for keeping the format straight. I appreciate that.
The key is Sean Elliott is healthy. He's running around like a rookie. He's jumping better than he has in years. So they got Mario Ellie to guard people. They got Jerome Kersey to guard people, two guys with toughness. And Steve Kerr has opened up the game even more. He's extended the defense. You know, Del Negro is like an 18-foot jump shooter, and here we've got Kerr who's going to hit the three-pointers.
And Mario Ellie,
moves.
yeah, if his touch returns that he used to have with the Houston Rockets.
Big game shots those guys can make, too.
Yes, indeed. A bit later.